I say fuck the man that lives in the sky.
Oh, hello, hello, hello. Yes, indeedy, the rumors are all true. I am back. It is Crafty here, the front row atheist, social commentator, and conspiracy analyst, to be more precise. But what's it been? Holy shit. It's been a long friggin' time. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to put it out there and let you know, I guess, what's been going on. Yeah, so here it goes. I'm just gonna, like I said, just lay it out there. And all right, so the Bernie loss hit me hard. Okay, all right, there, I said it. There it is. Just wanted to put it out there, and actually, before I really get started here, I do have to take care of some business as a part of the agreement for my release. As a part of my therapy. Yeah, that's it, my therapy. I would like to take this time now to apologize to the waitress at Denny's, located in Nashua, New Hampshire. Technically, I guess the waitress, the hostess, the entire kitchen staff, and any all customers that happened to be there the night California was absolutely friggin' swindled by that goddamn wretched, soulless, shape-shifting, reptilian, two-faced whore. Oh, come on now, just kidding. Yeah. Just messing with yous. I'm pretty confident that she's not actually reptilian. All right. No, that's not the reason for my absence here on YouTube, but, it really was a kick to the jimmies, wasn't it? Actually, scratch that. Multiple kicks to the jimmies. Am I right? Let's face it. About a year ago, I was saying if this whole thing comes down to Bush versus Clinton, I probably could not be held responsible for my actions. But then, out of nowhere, this guy comes along, and the only thing looks like he's running for is the early bird special somewhere along the west coast of Florida. Feel the what now? All right, look it. He ain't Hillary. Turns out, though, this guy is for real. Of course, a longtime senator from Vermont. And the more you look, the more you like. Crowds start to gather. Hold on. This guy is almost the exact opposite of Hillary. Feel the burn, baby. And then, Jimmy kick number 1. Before the primaries even begin, you learn that all the superdelegates are already pledged to the secretary of the pantsuit. What? Huh? Wait a second. What the hell is a superdelegate, and why the hell are they already pledged? All right, you know what? Whatever. No matter. Head down. Keep on trucking. The Sanders message is one the people have been starving for. Fuck the banks. fuck the lobbyists. Power to the people. Jimmy kick number 2. But this one would kind of be like one of those delayed reaction jobs because we didn't really know we were getting kicked in the jimmies at the time. But of course, we eventually did all come to learn that the fix, i.e. the DNC, was in. And that's in the corner and pocket of her. An organization that is supposed to be neutral, is supposed to be for the party and not any particular candidate. Well, they pushed harder for Clinton than the CIA did with cocaine through Arkansas in the 80s. Despite all of that, and despite all the money Wall Street and Big Pharma and Saudi Arabia could throw behind her, Bernie was standing toe-to-toe with the beast. Then the primaries came. Jimmy kick number 3. Sure, Sanders would go on to take almost half the states. I think it was 22 in all. But all we can do now is wonder what might have been, if not for shenanigans in some states, legal voter suppression in others, and outright fraud in still more. By then, the country was also realizing the meteoric rise of the Orange Man and starting to wonder if that could actually happen. Apparently, however, just not enough where they were willing to go to the mat for the one candidate on the other side that wiped the floor versus tiny hands in every national poll. Almost instantly, the Burnsters were told, get over it, you lost fair and... well, you lost, and we must now defeat big, bad, pussy-grabbing Trump. But wait, hark, who goes there? It's the FBI, here to save the day. If the server ain't right, you must indict. I'm with her. Going to jail. Clearly classified material that she left dangling out in cyberspace for all to take a look-see, as if it were an Anthony Weiner dick pic. As an aside, speaking of which, for an entirely entertaining, 30 seconds, go Google up Weiner headlines or Weiner New York Post headlines. It's a good chuckle to be had for sure. Cuomo spanks Weiner, rise and fall of Weiner, and Weiner, the second coming. Just a few of my faves from the dozens that are out there. But anyway, we saw the director of the FBI get up in front of America and say 110 emails, 52 email chains were indeed classified, and 8 of them were top freaking secret. He went on to say that the way she did shit made it very possible and probable that hostiles were able to access her entire server, and in summary, just general evidence of her mishandling classified information as Secretary of State. The Secretary of State, the President's Chief Foreign Affairs Advisor. Per Wiki, the Secretary carries out the President's foreign policies through the State Department and the Foreign Service of the United States. And then, Jimmy kick number 4. And this is the kick square to the nuts that we Americans have felt far too often. This totally illegal shit, which gets peeps like you and me a lifetime supply of striped pajamas FBI Director Comey says that we don't think it's worth the DOJ's time. The same DOJ who, by the way, just met with Bubba on a plane the week prior in a completely unrelated meeting. Move along, nothing to see here. But not worth the DOJ's time to prosecute agency. So, just like the banks, that she takes tens of millions of dollars from either speaking fees or campaign contributions, Miss Hill just too big to jail. Absolute friggin' joke. So, perhaps with my stance on Hillary, you're thinking, so what, Crafty? What are you saying? You're a Trump guy? You punched in the Donald on Election Day? No. No. Oh, shit. How effed up is all of this, huh? No, here's how I see what our choice was. Back in November. Remember the scene in Pulp Fiction when Butch and Marcellus are tied up with the ball gag things in their mouths? Well, they represent us, the American people. And be it Zed, the Gimp, or the other friggin' guy, we were getting fucked. Unfortunately, only Pulp Fiction was just that, a fiction. And old Butch was able to break free and save the day for himself and Marcellus. Us Americans, not quite so fortunate. You hear me, hillbilly boy? So, this week it all becomes reality, doesn't it? Donald Trump becomes the 45th President of the United States. I guess that makes it Jimmy Kick number 5. Oh, it's just a damn shame we aren't all a little bit more like Iron Balls McGinty.
Don't be so hard on yourself. How could you know that was
all right,
Iron
so
Balls McGinty?
let me just say this real quick. I'm gonna be honest, my fellow freaks. I'm kind of putting this video out just to get off the damn horse, you know? It really was one of those things that the longer it went, the harder it was. Ain't that right, Bill? No, but damn, I really feel like I could make a 5-hour video right now just to catch up and truly get through all the shit that was the 2016 election infection. Especially because one thing I think that I learned about myself since my last video, or I don't know, maybe not so much learned it as it more just became painfully obvious to me, and that is I generally have or hold the minority opinion or the least popular opinion about almost everything. Let's face it, in this country, just not believing in the magic sky skipper puts me on the outside about 80-90% of the time. But more specifically, like just as an example, I think Black Lives Matter is, for the most part, a ridiculous movement, often spreading the wrong message the wrong way. But I also hate fucking cops. Yeah, you heard me. And I will absolutely be expanding on this in a future video. But the police? This is a goddamn terrorist organization. And speaking of which, Islam. Here's another example. Islam is a despicable and loathsome religion, which, of course, by definition, has them also buying into the invisible man in the sky fairy tale. They are responsible for a lot of death and destruction and hate in the world today, period. But to think that the United States is remotely close to blameless, either directly or indirectly, in a lot of the shit that goes down, even in the name of Allahu Akbar, all praise be his, is flat out foolishness. We've basically been carpet bombing the entire region for 30 or 40 years. And mostly, if not all, so big transnational corporations can come in and rape and plunder the land out from under the people of the region. It doesn't take a genius to know there's going to be some blowback. But here's the kicker. And that is, even with the people I agree with on a particular issue, say, my reasons are very rarely the same. And I'm going to be honest, this fucks with me quite a bit. You start doubting yourself when your stances and reasoning always seem to be different from everybody else. But I am hoping that by getting back on the video horse here, that I can learn to embrace it. After all, one thing I have also kind of figured out here is that I am right almost all the friggin' time. So, there's that. But, no, there's actually no better example than the two criminals that were our choice for President of the United States. Straight up, I think a lot of the racist and misogynist stuff against the Donald is overblown and sometimes just flat out wrong. Hey, obviously, he was born with the proverbial silver spoon up his ass and has a massive ego / superiority complex. And I'm sure as shit not the first one to think that in general, wealth like that, trying to obtain it, get even more, etc., is a goddamn sickness. But yeah, he thinks he could do what he wants, when he wants, to anyone he wants. And obviously, that comes off as a hater many a time. Do I want that as my president? Hell no. He's a cartoon character reality TV star, for fuck's sake. He was supposedly running and received initial support because of his business acumen and record of success, right? And of course, he is very successful. Just ask him. I guess they say the first million is the hardest. Of course, I wouldn't know. Thing is, neither would Trump. He, of course, had his first million handed to him, and then many million more when the daddy kicked the bucket. I also found it very interesting. I don't know if any of you ever caught this, but there were a couple of articles that came out that indicated if back in the 80s when he was worth a mere couple $100 million, if he just retired then and threw his cash into an index fund, he'd have twice as much as he claims he does today, whatever that number is. But, no, that's actually, and it's not the case with guys like Gates and Buffett, who each made more than what they had through their businesses. Yeah, just saying. Throw in a handful of bankruptcies? I don't know. Bankrupt and business savvy just don't go hand in hand in my book. Front row fun fact? Front row fun fact. No major U.S. company has filed for Chapter 11 more than Trump's casinos. Of course, what wasn't overblown in any way was the flat-out fraud perpetrated by the prestigious Trump University. Bankruptcy and fraud. I mean, it's just no wonder the man can make a statement like,
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
and when not busy shedding his debt obligations at his casinos or fleecing a new class of enrollees, the man with the golden rug was brandishing his business brilliance with Trump steaks, Trump air, Trump vodka, Trump the magazine, Trump water, and who can forget New Jersey Generals football? Certainly not Jets fans. The Generals are still the best team to call Jersey home in the last 40 years. Checkmate Trump on that one, I guess. Same thing with Old Hill and my reasons for refusing to vote for her. Of course, in the liberal circles, just stating you were refusing to vote for her was enough to send them into an unrestrained tizzy that usually ended with them not wishing any further dialogue. If only my family weren't all Republicans. No, but seriously, even the few that somewhat agreed with me about her would say, yeah, but, not voting for her is a vote for him. Fuck that. No, it isn't. And I don't care how you want to spin it. Lesser of two evils, lesser of two evils. I am done with lesser of two evils. And in this case, the evils on both sides were way too much for my conscience to handle, period. But again, in my case against her, I never once went to Benghazi as a reason. Although, let's face it, I know people love to trot out Benghazi on both sides. The Dems, of course, point to it as the epitome of the decades-long Clinton witch hunt. And I'm not going down this road right now, but she did lie, right? I mean, at first, she came out and stuck with, for a while, the story about some spontaneous uprising due to a friggin' YouTube video. And as we know now, that was pure bollocks. Now, okay, and I'm sorry, but just for fair and balanced bashing, it's amazing how often and just how incredibly saddened those on the right were for the 4 American lives lost there. She lies over 4 lives lost, and I don't know how many hearings and committees were convened to get to the truth, right? An entire administration lies about weapons of mass destruction and anthrax. Yeah, remember the anthrax? And launches a $1 trillion war now going on its 14th year, and fucking crickets. It's simply incredible. But where was I? All right, yeah. I never brought it up, right? I never brought Benghazi up, or even the email thing, which again, I do feel she should have been indicted for. But I very rarely went there. And look, for right now, I'm not going to spend any more time on her than I need to. Something I'm sure old Bubba has uttered many a time. I'll just leave it at she's a warmongering uber corporate shill who I think, as far as foreign policy is concerned, is as, if not more dangerous than Trump. Look, she wants a no-fly zone in Syria, which, by all accounts, would trigger World War III. Okay. Oh, sorry. There I go. Nope. Not gonna do it. Gonna stop right there. I am. I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Okay? That's it. Lydia! Doris! Sorry. It's just a little dry there. Let me, Okay, yeah, I'm good. Saudi Arabia. No, I'm good now. Nope. Sorry. All right. All right, so I'm getting to the point here, actually, where I would like to try and cut myself off time-wise. But I did also really want to get to this. And as remarkable as this is, I don't think it's going to need a whole lot of analysis from me. It very much speaks for itself. I ultimately just have a few short clips to play for you. But it's the first one especially that I really can't believe has not received more press than it has. I mean, caught live on video. The number one, if not simply just the reason why, the orange one will soon be slumming it over on Pennsylvania Avenue. Let me just roll the footage, and you can all prepare for blowing of the mind.
This is probably the key graphic of the entire night. This is when...
Hang on. This is New York Times.
Yes.
This is New York Times showing when the night started, they predicted that Hillary had an 80% chance of winning.
That's right.
And that Trump had a 20% chance of winning.
That's
so
right.
you move along.
But then you look along the timeline, and exactly, this is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We went on the air.
That's when we went on Daystar.
We went on Daystar.
Thank you, Marcus Lamb, right there.
At 7:30 at night, we went on the air, but we have a prayer room here.
Yeah.
We had people all across the United States joining with our prayer room here in Dallas in prayer, and look what happened. This was the moment when the whole race broke, when prayer began, the church came out, and then we see a 30-point swing here, a 30-point swing here, and now we see the swing to 95% chance of winning Trump, 5% chance of winning Clinton. It's phenomenal. This graphic that was produced by the New York Times should tell believers and pastors the power of prayer, the power of action. And here it is, a graphic. The night isn't even over. The decision hasn't even been fully made yet about the presidency. And already we know that the glory goes to the God Almighty, the God of the universe, the sovereign Lord. He is the one who did this for us. He did because his people got on their knees and cried out to holy God and said, we can't go down this road anymore. Father, we ask you for your mercy. And this is the proof positive of what the Lord did. The Lord did this.
That's right, folks. President Donald J. Trump. Brought to you by God. That, of course, was Michelle Bachmann, who in 2012 had presidential aspirations herself. Logically, of course, it only stands that she did not become the first woman president because God said, no fucking way. No, let me guess, Michelle. That whole mysterious ways thing, right? Like I said, not much analysis needed from me here. But you know, I mentioned Trump's obvious, massive ego earlier. When you think of it, he's got nothing on Michelle here. I mean, not only did God create the entire cosmos, of which we are but a speck of a speck of a speck, just for us, you know, according to her, no doubt. But this woman firmly believes that because she gathered in a friggin' prayer room on election night, that she was able to convince the Almighty to alter the results in her favor, and, you know, fuck all those who were praying for the opposite outcome. That there is some unprecedented ego. I mean, if her ego were bottled, it would be banned in pro sports. Oh, shit. All right, so check it out. I know I said I had a few clips, but I really wanted to cap this thing at 30 minutes. I actually wanted to cap it at 20, but I did have some catching up to do. So what I'm going to do is save the others for one of the next vids, because they actually are something to spend a little time on, as I think they are, like this insanity, a harbinger for the next 4 years anyway. I will just say that the Christian nutters have come out in force and rallied around this fugger. And, I think that there is or was a feeling around the atheist YouTube community anyway, that the work was done, that there wasn't anything left to say. All the myths have been shattered, the absurdities of the Bible exposed. But really, our fight has just begun. And nothing proves that to me more than the Bible thumpers. Or I guess in this case, the Bible trumpers. And anyway, damn. Just a whole lot more that I want to get to. Looking back and grading the Obama years. And, of course, the coming nuclear attack by Russia. That is, after all, why Putin cyber-sacked the DNC. Didn't you know? So, all right, freaks. I'm really going to try my best to pump out material, but it would also sure be nice to get some help from all y'all as well. How's that? Well, do all that liking and sharing and subscribing crapola that lets me know you're getting your freak on. Right now, best other place to find me is the Twitterverse. I know, working on it. But that is crafty at FrontRowAtheist. So come on over and follow me there. I am actually fairly active on that thing. So till the next time, good to be back. And you freaks, be good now. You hear?